What do you keep from your partner? The fact that I'll propose to her in a few weeks. Good thing she doesn't use any social media. Nice. Man. That I dread coming home after work. Or sitting at the dinner table with her. Or dealing with her crankiness when she goes to bed. Depression changes people. It makes them selfish, sensitive, defeated, and highly irritable. I understand depression enough to know it's largely not her fault. She was entirely different before the depression set in. If I hint in any way how hard it is to be around her, she breaks down and can't function. So I smile, listen, and pretend I'm happy to be around her. For her sake. She thinks I don't pee in the shower. But I sometimes do. My wife gets angry with me when I pee in the shower. But it's usually because she's taking a bath. Edit. Thank you for the awards. I'll let the wife know her participation wasn't in vain. Bodily functions. More specifically bathroom time. I shut the door. Every single time. She don't give a damn. Wide as open. I don't care how long I'm with someone and how close we are. I just like privacy in the bathroom. No need for him to see it all. I've been binge eating for the last several years. I would get banana bread, cake, loaves of bread, entire meals at Indian restaurants, containers of ice cream, etc. and eat whatever it was in the car and then throw away the evidence before going home. A couple months ago I finally told him what I've been doing. So he started running errands for me or coming with me or letting me drag my son everywhere with me. It's helped. A few days ago I decided that I wasn't going to hide anything anymore and brought home a container of mango sorbet. I've eaten less than 1/4 of it over 3 days. Before I would have eaten the entire 800 calorie container plus a loaf of banana bread in the car in one sitting. And would have done that maybe more than once. How empty my brain is most of the time. Like I'm just sitting there starting off into the distance and he asks what I'm thinking about. Usually I'm honest and say I zoned out, but I'm zoned out like 90% of the time. After a big fight this weekend where my wife said some rather insulting things. She apologized and sat down next to me because I was looking thoughtful. She puts her head on my shoulder and says, "What are you thinking about?" Me. "It looks like one of the cats threw up a little on the hardwood floor and I should clean it up." Double quote. There's one thing that I hide from my wife. My goddamn phone charger. I swear to Odin she cannot keep up with a charger. I'm down to one charger I take with me to different rooms. If I don't need it, I hide it in my closet. Like a child. I have to be nearly the same way. I've taped the communal den charger to the wall with electrical tape. He knows I will murder him if he touches mine. And how does he need a new car cable every few months? What are you doing to the poor things that they fray? The reason I'm so good at gifts and they seem so thoughtful is that I keep a list on my phone for whenever she says she wants or likes something. It seems like I have this great memory. But instead I just wrote it down when you said it 6 months ago. I extended it into the in-laws to help on holidays. As we usually send from the both of us. Hey, I do this too, but then enough time passes before her birthday and she'll be extremely confused over getting things she can't remember ever wanting. Total gaslighting on the toaster. Wow, your memory is so bad, why would I ask for a toaster? I don't want a toaster, I never asked for a toaster. Well, guess who's now using a toaster every goddamn day? My wishlist on Amazon and bookmarks of gifts I plan to buy for him in the future. You're the person that incognito mode claims to have been invented for. That I write a bit of erotica on the side. She'd be thrilled and supportive. But I'm just too embarrassed. I am a super prolific fanfic writer. Think like several novels, with a decent collection of followers. It's a stress reliever and a fun creative project for me. But not even under pain of death would I ever admit that to anyone I know. I get it. I do. My dog likes to poop on the rooftop balcony while I work from home around 1130 am. She gets excited and comes and asks to be let out. She does her business and goes and naps. I pick it up and flush it. It's been our thing for months now. We have a backyard. The dog does poop there many times. The dog gets walks. Plenty of pooping time in her life. But it's her routine now to come into my work area about 1130 am. Asks to get let out of the balcony door. Poops then naps. It seems to make her happy to poop there. Spouse does not know. Nor would he approve of the rooftop balcony poops. Edit. Typo. The depths of my fears and frustrations about having cancer. And the fatalistic jokes I make about it. I don't share them with my husband because he's having a hard time with my diagnosis. His wife has cancer. It's eventually gonna kill her. He's obviously stressed out about the whole situation. Instead, I share my darker and more irrational thoughts with a psychologist at the cancer center. He doesn't need to know every worst case scenario that my anxiety comes up with. He does need to know that I have a will and an MDPOA. And where they are. In case shit actually goes sideways. He doesn't like to hear me joke about my 3/4 life crisis or silly funeral ideas. So I don't do it when he's around. He doesn't need to know about my poop. If it gets to the point where he does need to know about it, I'll look into hiring a nurse or CNA to make his life and his job as a caregiver easier. How much I really miss my grandmother, she died, and how often I burst out in tears and how depressed I am because of that. I'm sorry you're feeling so low. Hopefully, that isn't something your partner would be unsupportive of. Maybe you could let them know you're having a hard time. My chocolate. If he so much as thinks of touching it. So help me Lord lol. I came here to say the same thing. Don't even think of touching my snack stash. It's a spreadsheet called If the Shitty Hits the Fan. I made it when we were going through a rough patch in our relationship concurrently with my going through a rough patch at work. Pretty much. I felt like I was going to get dumped and fired. And the only thing that allowed me to sleep at night was keeping a running tally of all my assets and how long those would sustain my kids and me if I got fired and dumped at the same time. As well as the cost of my preferred floor plan at every apartment complex zoned for my kids' schools. We're doing great now. Have been for some time. Works awesome. 2. I still keep the spreadsheet updated. It keeps the anxiety down. I let my cat drink from the tap. Please don't tell her. Our cat howls until I turn the tap on. He was inherited when I got married. So he's a stepcat I suppose. And he never really took to me until I left the bathroom tap dripping for him one day. Now it's kind of our thing. How fucking terrified I am that he's going to leave me. I have no real reason to think he plans on leaving me. But it's just something that probably won't ever go away. I love him so much and I know he loves me. But I'm still so scared. Talking about insecurities like these are more likely to bring you closer together. Think of it as a form of intimacy. Insecurities like these won't go away on their own. You need to face your fears. Toenail clippings. She also doesn't know that I keep them. Raiding her bathroom trash bin every night. Nor does she know that we're partners yet. But my hope is to save them up and make them into a small diorama house to give to her on our 5th anniversary as a mock-up of our forever home. How much it actually costs getting my hair done. He thinks I'm getting a color cut and blow dry for 70 quid and that it's crazy expensive. It's actually 200 but he doesn't need to know the truth. That's the only thing kept from him and really, it's in his best interest. Straight men have no idea how much women's grooming can cost. And it is hilarious. I was shocked that my partner can get a $10 haircut. While he is amazed I will travel an hour on the subway and spend $120 before tip on a haircut, though he does at least grok that black hair care is a specialty and worth paying for. The fact that I don't want to be alive anymore. No. I'm not going to kill myself. I can't stand the amount of selfishness and idiocy I'm surrounded by on a daily basis. I'm actually sorry that I brought 2 people into this horrible world. I say a tiny agnostic prayer every night to whoever, whatever may or may not be listening. In hopes I die in my sleep. I mean I'll take it however I can get it. Even some Final Destination shit. Just roll credits already. This has been a terribly disappointing and depressing movie. I am in a fairly new relationship and I refuse to keep anything from him. At 44 and getting out of a horrible marriage from someone who kept most everything from me. There is just no way I can put someone through the hurt that I did. Being open and honest is the only way to be. Sappy or not IDC. There is deceit. And then there are harmless personal things you can keep from your so and still have a great relationship. I know a lot more of her previous sexual partners and hookups than she thinks I do. I have no reason to bring them up and I don't want her to be self-conscious about it. My ex and I really liked this low-key underrated song. My wife heard the same song on my list and fell in love for it. She always blasts it on the radio when we are on the car. I know if I were to tell her that it is also my ex-girlfriend's favorite song it would ruin for her. So I just let her be happy. Efforts like this will lead to successful relationships. Her snacks when she needs help with rationing. We're super open otherwise. Including porn. The existence and location of peanut butter in the house. He sleep eats and has eaten the whole jar at once more than once. I like to have a spoonful as a snack every now and then so if he doesn't know we have anywhere it is. I can make a small jar last a month or more. It took a long time to reveal all of my sexual deviances but they're all out. Now all I hide is the occasional half dozen cookies I bake and eat while she is at work. Nasarosa. How much my prior relationship truly messed me up. She knows a little bit about it but not to the extent it has shaped me in relationships. I feel like I don't want to bring it up because I don't want to be that guy blaming everything on an ex. That I had. In fact. Read a book series. He had a book containing the entire collection and somehow thought I hadn't read it. He was so excited to read it with me that I didn't have the heart to say anything. So we reread the entire series aloud over the course of many months. You have no idea how much I love this. Farts, I will do just about anything not to let one go when we're together. Not a new relationship. Just holding on tightly to that dignity sense of attraction. My GF tries her utmost to never fart around me but all that happens is she farts loads really noisily in her sleep. She also mistakenly believes I can't hear her farting in the shower. That the KFC Double Down holds a special place in my heart as well. My wife thinks video games are a waste of time and brain cells. It's a hobby of mine that she begrudgingly tolerates. She likes classical music. Though. There are a few orchestral tracks on she likes when I play when we're getting busy in the bedroom. I've told her they're lesser known works by Dvorak and Schubert. Almost all video game soundtracks. Neretherizing. To Faraway Times. Sovngarde. To Zanarkand. Nathan Drake's theme. Eris theme. Just to pick a few. I think my wife sorta knows about my other account where I writing down a butt full of short stories and long comments. But I don't think she's really read any other than or know kinda gross they are. It's like she's keeping them from herself on my behalf. Thanks. Lady. Work stuff. I work in a hospital and I have a fragile population of patients. Sometimes they die. I've tried to talk to him about it in the past when I have a sad one but he didn't really get it. I understand. It's uncomfortable talking about death. So now if I have a crummy day or difficult case I just say that and go for a run. Or drink a few glasses of wine. And save the talking for my co-workers who can relate. The type of porn I watch. My strawberry smeagol's. Oh. I love me strawberry smeagol's. 2. I hope she never gets her hands on me. And tries to steal my strawberry smeagol's. I'm going to eat every last one of them. Because then they'll be in my stomach. And she will never be able to eat them. For some reason he feels the need to hide that he masturbates from me so now I've gotten into the habit of hiding that I masturbate. I seriously don't know if he knows I do that. We've been together 10 years. Awkward to bring it up now. Not my partner. But we like each other and are trying to work it out. He knows everything about me except maybe how much I like him. Best of luck. We're trying to have a baby and have been trying for a few months. No luck so far. I feel like it's my fault. It probably isn't. But I feel so much guilt. Everyone around me is having babies and getting pregnant. I feel left behind. I also have a genetic disorder that gives me a high risk for miscarriages. My partner knows all that. This helps with the guilt. But that's a story for another day. Any and all surprises I have in store for him. His face is absolutely adorable when I give him a really cool surprise. The best was when I got him a husky puppy. Lol, drove him all the way out to where we were getting it from with him desperately trying to figure out what we were doing. LMAO. How bad my depression and eating disorder really are. How bad my family abandoning me really has affected me. I fart. A lot. When she's near I always keep it in. And after a while my stomach hurts. Not good for me probably, but I'd be very embarrassed to tell her about it. Don't accumulate your farts. They are warm gas. They are lifted to your head and that's how shitty ideas are born. Jokes aside. Keeping your gas can weaken your intestine walls and lead to health issues. Intestinal pain is like childbirth pain. But without the promise of something good. It's not fun. Trust me. Bodily functions. The reasons why I like sitting in my own chair isn't that I'm cold or distant. It's so I can fart with reckless abandon because the ultra plush upholstery muffles the noise and the natural airflow in our house always puts me downwind of her. As many times as she's chewed me out for actually encountering my farts, 5% of the time. It's only because we're away from the house and I'm trying to maintain a safe distance to drop my belly bomb. But she ends up teleporting back to me and right into my exorcised gut demon. The biggest thing I keep from my wife is that I am terrified that she will grow up to be like her mother. Her mother is a very nice person and has been very good to me. Loves her grandkids, etc. But it always seems to me that she doesn't really love her husband. They live fairly happily together but they seem like roommates more than husband and wife. I just don't ever want to feel that way about my wife. I know she messed up our relationship. I work day shift 1 week, evening shift next week and night 3rd week and a week off and start from day week again. During the weeks of evening shifts, she was texting other guys. All sorts of stuff. She even cheated. I know. She knows I know some of it. But not all of it. Just waiting for the right moments to kick her out. I am at least a kind and sweet person. Unlike her. Sorry, English isn't my native language. Actually feels good to tell at least one person about it. Not my partner. But I keep all of my problems from friends and family. It's easier that way. Hey, just a heads up, I used to be like that, and still am sometimes. But trust me, it's not the best option as bottling up too much can just make you collapse altogether at some point. That I feed her cat table scraps. Even though she tells me not to. It's not for dietary or health reasons. She just doesn't want the cat to like people food. But I freaking love how he comes up to me and waits so eagerly for a little morsel of meat. I dunno. It's like our little bond. This is really annoying because it will make cats jump on the table and start eating your food. My ex kept that she was sexually attracted to women for over 10 years. Which sucked since that was something we had in common, lol. My only secret is that sometimes I get a 5-layer burrito from Taco Bell before coming home. It's a treat yourself thing and IDK I feel like it won't bother anyone so I don't say anything. What I buy from Target mostly, but also that I pee in the shower. It doesn't take me that long to poop. I'm just taking a break on my phone. I eat way more sweets than he knows. And if I'm ever grabbing my own butt, it's because I'm slightly spreading my cheeks so I can silently toot. D. He has really long hair and it drives me crazy. It gets everywhere. Yesterday he accidentally froze a hair in our ice cube tray. We had to get a hair trap because he kept clogging the shower. I won't tell him to cut his hair though because he loves it more than it drives me crazy. I bet I drive him crazy with my endless chatter. We're quarantining too. So it never stops. I try to stop. But I'm extremely bored. Anyway. It's not that big of a deal. He can keep his long hair if it makes him feel good. That I am lonely and that I constantly think of breaking up. We do not have shared finances. This is good because I have a small mess with the IRS, the result of stupidity on my part. There's a payment plan. I just don't want him to know because it's just embarrassing to me. I'm not normally that stupid. That I have scoliosis. It's not bad. It's barely scoliosis, according to my doctor. But I was so ashamed of that fact as a kid that it's embedded in my mind to never tell any of my partners. I don't even think friends know either. My husband is anti-fast food. He doesn't know that I've been getting a 20-piece chicken nuggets and an Oreo shake at McDonald's every time I go out to buy groceries, which is about once a month. It's been my routine for the past 7 years. The last donut. It's mine. The sheer amount of money I spend on Magic and Warhammer. The number of sexual partners I've had. It's not an insanely high number and I'm not embarrassed, but it's none of his business. I don't want to know his number either. It's none of my business. All either of us needs to know is that the tests came back negative and we're healthy. Work stuff. It's not that there is much to hide. I just don't care to talk about work when I'm home. If he asks questions I answer of course, but I rarely go into detail because it's exhausting. He also keeps work stuff away from me. In his case it's a mix of confidentiality and him being too exhausted by the idea of talking work life when he's off the clock. I like that we mostly don't talk work when we are home. It's very different from the environment I grew up in and I find it refreshing that we both agree that downtime is reserved for downtime activities. That I'm in a MAT program for my addiction. He has no idea that I am addicted to pills and was spiraling for the last 3 years. I finally went to an addiction clinic for help and haven't taken any opioids since March. No one knows about my addiction or treatment other than the clinic and Reddit. Honestly, I can't think of anything serious off the top of my head. Oh, I did smoke for a bit recently. Stress at home and wanting to stop my want for food didn't really seem to help, so I just finished the pack and left it at that. Also probably how much I eat. Like I said, I have trouble controlling my binging, especially now I'm stuck at home with the COVID thing. I've gained so much weight and feel terrible. But we're in a long distance relationship, so we try to be very open with each other. Any lies or hiding things just make the relationship even harder.